Okay, are you guys ready? Talk about a Morphe haul. Okay, don't judge me. So, for one, I spent too much money, and for two, this Morphe haul is like extremely overdue, like months overdue. I bought this stuff in November. It's the beginning of March. So yeah, this is a really, really overdue haul, but I've been trying to just gather stuff because I feel like when I do a haul, I've got like 3 things to talk about, and that's not enough to do a whole haul video. So I guess we can go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start with the stuff that I've recently acquired from ordering things from Morphe and that sort of thing. So we're gonna put him on the floor. Ta-da! Okay, so I wanted to talk about these real quick because this is gonna be kind of a Morphe haul / review because there is some of the stuff I've tried. So I wanted to include a few things that I've tried. I'm also going to include like a list down below of my favorite brushes that I use in like every single video. So you could theoretically go to any of my videos and see that list. Morphe came out with liquid lipsticks, and if you are a huge liquid lipstick fan like me, then this was the best thing that has ever happened. So I have, if you've seen in my beauty room tour, I have an entire drawer, 2 drawers probably, of ColourPop liquid lipsticks. I now have an entire drawer of Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks, which used to fill up the majority of this. So I think I probably have like 15 Jeffree Star lipsticks at the least. And then I'm a real big fan of OCC lipsticks. And then I have an entire thing of Anastasia Beverly Hills. And there's probably more. I'm such a big fan of liquid lipsticks. So I was so excited when Morphe, my probably favorite brand, like I have to say they're my favorite brand, came out with liquid lipsticks. Like I was so excited. So I'm gonna insert here, I did entire swatches on my, this is so loud. I did entire swatches on my Instagram on my skin, which is very pale, and my boyfriend's skin, which is significantly darker than mine. So I wanted to include the swatches side by side on my skin, his skin, flash, no flash, that kind of thing. And so far, I have to say that these are probably my second favorite liquid lipsticks ever. So I really love the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipsticks, but for some reason, there's a couple of the shades in those that break me out. Like break my lips out into little white bumps. Does anybody else have that problem, or it could just be me? But there's a couple of the nude shades that will do that to me, like Pure Hollywood every time. And the Jeffree Star ones are definitely in my like top, like for sure. I'm a big fan of the Jeffree Star ones, but these definitely come in a close second. Like for one, the amount of shades, there's 22 shades. So as you can see, there's all of these crazy pink and purple shades. There's so many reds, which my favorite is probably the Morphe, this one, Morphe Red, that's like the same color as their like logo. And Bloodshot, which is by far my favorite dark red. Then they've got a good array of these like brown shades, which are super great for nude on my darker girls. And they have these beautiful light colored shades. Look at these nudes, like these nudes and pinks. The one that I'm wearing today is Mood by Morphe, and this one I think has probably been my favorite so far. It looks a little bit lighter, I feel like, in the tube than it does actually on my lips. Now I did use a lip liner, so that could have something to do with it, but I'm such a big fan of these. Like seriously, they're so creamy. They're not patchy. I feel like I don't have any, let's see, we're gonna look up close. I don't feel like I have any patchiness. Like I have some, you know, the whatever that all liquid lipsticks do to me for always, but I don't have any patchiness. I feel like it looks really super creamy and pigmented. The rule is, I think with these though, is, I mean, they do dry matte, like that's not kidding. So I don't recommend doing one layer, letting it dry completely, and then trying to do another layer on top of that. That's how you get it to be crusty, and I think all liquid lipsticks are that way. I've not found one that isn't that way. So you have to make sure that you apply it all in like, you know, one set. Like don't let it dry, like do some mascara and come back, because then I think that's when it gets patchy. Next thing that I don't think that I've had a chance to talk about here on my channel, I've talked about it on my Instagram for sure, and these aren't new. Like these came out like around Christmas time. These are their gold brushes. I put them in this little like gold cup from TJ Maxx, and I talked about this in my beauty room tour, but I just wanted to say that these are really gorgeous. They're part of my new Morphe collection. I don't even know if I can bring myself to use them. I've used a couple of them. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I totally have used some of the blending brushes, but they're so pretty. So, I mean, I just had to include you because he's so cute, you know? Okay, and this is a new one. So when I got on the Morphe site, I saw that they came out with these palettes. Oh, it's gonna be all glary. So these palettes, they came out with two of them, the bronze palette and then the copper spice palette. This is the copper spice palette. This is seriously such a true, like, coppery. I'm obsessed with these shimmer colors. This color right here, these are almost as good as the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadows. And those are my favorite shimmery eyeshadows of all time. This is gonna be part of my little Morphe haul. So let's dive into this giant bag. I haven't used anything from this bag since I bought the entire thing, and I had to stuff it. I'm not even kidding you. So I found out that they, like, for whatever reason, they like ran out of storage on the plane because I just had one like carry-on and that was it. Like I was only there for a day, okay? So I had one carry-on and apparently they like ran out of storage on the plane or whatever, and they were like, oh, we need you to check your bag, it'll be free. And I was like, no, like this entire bag was in my suitcase. So I took this bag out of my suitcase and I kid you not, I flew with it on my lap because I was like, what if I put this in my checked bag and like all of my palettes get broken? I'm gonna cry, you know? So yeah, no, this is like my baby. So the first palette that I got is the Kathleen Lights palette. The girls in the Morphe store, for one, are super, super nice. And for two, they were like, girl, you need this palette. And I was like, I don't know. Not that I have anything against like supporting Kathleen Lights. She's gorgeous. But like, I have all of the palettes. And so I wasn't sure if I wanted to go ahead and get it. But I'm very glad that I did because it is so pretty. I was Snapchatting it when I was at the airport because I was like all by myself at the airport. Which I don't know if I did a vlog of that. I might have done a vlog of that trip. If I did, I'm gonna have to put that up. So anyway, look at these beautiful shades. This green shade, and this has that same like amazing foiled consistency. Like, I don't know, look at that. I am so excited to try this. I purposely haven't tried it yet because I knew I was gonna put it in this haul video. So I just left it on its little own so that I could try it when time came. But that looks like a mermaid look that's gonna happen, or like a beautiful forest green. Like, there's 112 things I can think to do with that. So yeah, I love the variety of the foiled shades with the matte shades. I love that there's a staple black as always. These transition shades I feel like are really good, and this burgundy shade, let me tell you right now, hold on. So I am probably the biggest fan ever of the shade Bitten by Makeup Geek. It is one of my favorite shades. I'm always going to buy that shade. I've hit pan on that shade twice. I've repurchased it twice. When I came across this, I realized that is very similar, like extremely similar. Now they're not the same, don't get me wrong. Let me see if I can put you right here. Oh, look at that, it sticks. So they're not the same, okay, but they are really similar. So I'm just gonna swatch them both. If that is not a dupe for the Makeup Geek Bitten, I don't know what is, okay? Like, that's amazing. So this is definitely a very good dupe for that. It's very hard to find those red, you know, burgundy shades, I feel like. Especially as pigmented as that one is, that's pretty amazing. So I got him. So let's see, as far as palettes go, I got the 35F palette. Let's open him up here. I love these, like, when you get like a new Morphe box and it's just like so shiny and new. Some of my Morphe palettes are completely destroyed. I really wanted to try this because as much as I am not a big fan of like the colored shimmers, like I typically go for like a champagne shimmer and like call it a day. So I'm not typically a big fan of the colored shimmers, but I saw a couple of these shades, these like orangey burgundy shades in this 35F palette, and I was like, I might need that. Like, those are really pretty, like, burgundy, shimmery shades. I'm like a really big fan. So, and you have a row at the bottom of these transition shades, which I feel like is super important. Like, whoever thought of this was a genius, because as much as I love my 350S, like the 350, the shimmer version, I very rarely reach for that palette because it doesn't have any transition shades, and if I'm gonna grab a palette, I just want one, you know? So it has this whole row of transition shades and all of these different varieties of these warm, like smoky type shimmer shades. Like there's this olivey green color that's got like a hint of gold in it. I'm so excited. Like I can just, right now, I can like envision in my head like a beautiful, like smoky, dark golden green with this in the center. Yes, that is what I need. So yeah, I'm really excited about these, and it's hard to find these light shimmery shades. I feel like they're super light because I like these to highlight like my inner corner because I'm real big into that inner corner highlight, or my brow bone or whatever. It's hard to find these like kind of super light shimmery shades. So I'm really excited about him. So this one is the 35T, and I'm so surprised that I never had this palette. I actually bought this palette for my friend when I was in LA, because like, hello, like she's like, okay, I'm gonna give you money, and since you're gonna go to the Morphe store, I want you to buy me this, this, and this. So I actually bought both of these palettes for her, and I was like, why don't I have any of these? And I, honest to goodness, think that this is one of the last palettes that I need to complete my Morphe collection. I honestly think that I have every eyeshadow palette that Morphe makes aside from that bronze palette. I could be wrong, I'm pretty sure. So this is a taupey sort of warm green. I don't really know how to describe it, but there's a lot of these like green shades. There's these taupey shades. These shades at the bottom, these like 4 shades at the bottom is what sold me on this palette because they have them laid out at the Morphe store. And I was like, yeah, I need those, okay? And they have, I'm a big fan of their like shimmers. Like so yeah, this is just one of those that I feel like is a staple to have if you're really into, like obviously I'm super into like the taupey burgundy smoky eyes. So I feel like this is just a given, like you should have this in your kit if you're really into those. Okay, so let's see what else I have. So I have 2 other smaller bags. Okay, so I actually bought a bunch of the Morphe pressed pigments, and I was completely like sold on them when I tried them in the store. Like I was so excited about these, and I was really sad because I broke this exact same one. This is the one that I broke. It's called Powder Room, and it's such a pretty, like, these are like their foiled, these are like their shimmery shades like on crack. That's what these are. And I'm a real big fan of these. Like I have been using these, look at me almost drop it. I have been using these nonstop. So I was using these and I broke my one, and I was so sad about it. And it was like magic. I swear to goodness, the people at Morphe were like, spidey senses, realized that I broke my favorite one, and they sent me, this is all of their pressed pigments. So they needed their own tray. I literally went to Amazon and bought this tray on purpose for these. I'm not kidding you. So they have such a variety of colors. They've got their greens, they've got their burgundies, they've got their blues, their copper tones, their light tones, their cool tones. They've even got like a really cool teal. So I've gotten to dive into these a few times. I've not gone like super hard yet, but I'm going to. I was kind of waiting on after this video so that I could like really decide, you know, how I felt about them. But these are so pretty, and I was so sad when I broke mine, so I was like, here's the one that broke, and it's just not the same. Once it breaks and you fix it, it's just not the same. So I was so excited when I got these. They're so freaking pretty. So yeah, they're kind of like their shimmery shades, but like, you know, on a more intense level. So I have 2 little bags inside of this big bag. So this is more of the pressed pigments and their eyeshadows and yada yada yada. So this is another one. This is Champagne Nights. It's one of the other pressed pigments. And I heard a lot about this from Nikki Tutorials. So I was like, yeah, okay, I like everything that you have, and we're on the same pale level, so I'll buy it. So I got that one, and I got a couple of these for my friend as well when I was there because I just knew she would like them. She didn't really have them on her list, but I was like, yeah, well, you need them. So there are, let's see, the ones that I like picked ideally for me, if you're interested in just my own personal choices. So we have Champagne Nights, Powder Room, Conceited, Mimosa Sunday, and Coffee and Drama. So they are all, I would say, like gold champagne tones, except for the Coffee and Drama one is more of a like brown coppery tone, like an antique bronze, I would say, actually more like an antique bronze. So I got a couple of Morphe single eyeshadows, which I feel like I might have had 1 or 2 of these already, but I rebought them if I didn't. Like I know that I have Gumdrop, but I rebought it. I don't really care. Okay, so this is I Heart You. I don't want to take it out of the package yet because I don't have anywhere to put them. I honestly, all of my Z palettes are full. Like I don't have anywhere to put anything. So I'm not gonna take these out yet because I don't want to break them. So there's I Heart You. This one is Gumdrop, which is more of a like pinky orangey shade. This is Candy Bloom. I think this is such a pretty purpley like transition shade. And then Deep Cocoa, which I think looks a lot, my arm, sorry, we're gonna switch arms. This looks a lot like Sienna, I think it is, by Anastasia Beverly Hills. So I really wanted this one because, like, hello, if it's a dupe for Anastasia Beverly Hills, let's go. So I just got a couple of those, and then one back down. I repurchased the Morphe Slate Gel Liner. I'm not kidding you when I say this is one of my favorite gel liners that I have ever tried. Ever. So I'm a big fan of this, not just for me, but for my clients. And I feel like if it works on pretty much every client that I have, it's gonna work on you. So I really recommend that one. And these little guys, these Morphe mini sponges, I'm so excited to try these. I haven't tried these yet. I did try the big one, the big like pink, red, like egg. It's like a snowman shape. I've tried him. I'm obsessed. I'm such a big fan of those. And so I was like, they were like, oh, we have mini sponges, you wanna try? And I was like, yep, I do. So I kept 2 of them and I gave one to my friend that I work with so that she could try it too. I don't know if I know she's probably tried it, but I haven't heard anything from her yet. So I'll have to ask her and see, but I'm really excited to try these because anytime I get a sponge, I'm happy. This is where they check my bag, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Like, no. You cannot take my Morphe stuff. So this is the last little bag that I have, and probably the most important one in my opinion because it has all of the brushes that I purchased. Like I said, this video is not sponsored in any way by Morphe. There's no sponsorship at all. They have sent me a few things, but this entire bag, I went to Morphe and I bought everything myself. You can ask the lady, she was real nice. And my receipt was like super long. I probably saved it because it was ridiculous. Well, since he keeps popping up, we're gonna pick him first. So this is the M149. I primarily got this for doing my cut creases. I have a couple of cut crease type brushes. This one's the M515. It's real tiny. Like I have him. I have the M507, which I use all the time, that black like kind of pointed one, but I feel like he is kind of right in the middle. Like he's not as small as that one, but he's not as thick as the other one. And then I got this M213 brush, which I thought would be very handy for lips. I feel like I need like a flat, small, tiny lip brush. I also feel like this would be really good for packing on glitter, just in the slightest, because it's not as stiff as some of my other ones. It's a little bit more wiggly. Wiggly, that's the technical term. This is part of their, like, what is the B? Whatever the B collection is. This is the B41. So this is like a flat definer brush. However, this is very skinny. So the flat definer brush that I have by them right now, let me see, M432 brush. So I don't know if you can tell, which I keep, that is my phrase for the day. So this M432 brush, for one, is shorter than this one. Like when I line them up at the bottom, is shorter. The barrel is even a little bit shorter when I line them up at the barrel. It's fatter, it's just thicker, and it's more, I feel like, for packing on shadow on the lash line. Whereas this white one, this is a B41, I saw him, and I was thinking that this would be great to, you know, clean up my lines for my lipstick and to carve out my brows, because I have a really hard time. I feel like finding a brush to carve out my brows. Now, I could just be horrible at my brows. That's fine. It might just take me longer than other people, but I feel like this, the stiffness in this and yet the thinness in this one is exactly what I'm looking for. I don't know if you care, but you know, I'm just gonna include you anyway. So another part of the rose gold one, this is the R44. So this looks a lot like that E29, but it's the rose gold, and I kind of just wanted it, and I don't know if, I mostly just wanted to try both of them to see which one I liked more for doing my brows and which one I liked more for lining my lips, because I do like an angled brush to line my lips, I feel like, and I really like an angled brush to line clients' lips because people move a lot. So, you know, you gotta find something that's a little bit easy to maneuver. This one is the M335, so I have the M335 and the M334, leave it to me. I got this one because I thought that it would be helpful to, like I said, blend out powder. This is still kind of that same reason, to blend out powder, to place product like a bronzer or things like that, or even to buff out, like this is such a dumb reason, but I swear to God, this is what I thought when I was standing in the store, to buff out my contour on the tip of my nose. I swear that's what I thought. I was like, oh my God, that'd be perfect for that. But just on the tip of my nose. Like, you don't have to be high maintenance like me, that's fine. Then I got the M560, yeah, so this is another very stiff bullet type crease brush. Again, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like these yet because they are very stiff, but I feel like I have a hard time packing on darker shades in my crease and getting them to stay dark. Like I feel like I almost buff them out too much. Like, does that make sense? So I'm really gonna try to use something that might, you know, keep that dark shadow in that crease, because I'm such a big fan of having the glitter go up to the crease and there'd be a very dark transition into the like more fanned out, you know, like chill transition colors to the rest of the shadows. Okay, we just have a few more. Bear with me, okay? This is the R36. I bought this purely for highlighting. So it's not the M501, which is this big one here, but it's a little bit more pointed. So look at all these fuzzies I have on these. Okay, so this is the R37. I got this primarily for the pointedness at the end of the brush, because I feel like this like little like point is very good for blending out. So that's why I got him, because I don't have very many that are pointed like that. I have one and I'm a really big fan of it, but I only have the one. So I got him, and then this is the R40, so this is another version. I think he's just a little bit bigger and a little bit fatter. So, you know, just because I have a bunch of the same ones, why not? This is the R39, which reminds me a lot of my M433 brush. I think that's what it's called. It's a little bit flatter this way, but it's thicker that way. So see the difference? Like, it's skinny, but then it like gets fat. This is really good for carving out that outer V, and I'm a really big fan of that, and I probably have quite a few of the M433 brushes, but I felt like this one was a little bit more targeted, so that's why I got him. This is the R33 brush. This is a very like stiff type brush, but honestly the reason I got this is because I thought that this would be good for blending out concealer, especially when you have, like me, when you have like one little spot. If you put concealer on that spot and you really tap it in there, you want to get all of that concealer around the entire blemish, because it's three-dimensional, so you want to reach like all over the little part of the blemish, and I felt like that would be a good option for him. We're getting into the smaller brushes. So this is, what is he? The R35. I should have just bought the entire Rose Gold collection, because clearly I bought a crap ton of them. This kind of flatter, thicker brush is really good for when you want to place a wash of color. So this is really good for just taking a little bit of color and washing it over without it like really packing on shadow, because there's some brushes that you just don't want to pack on a ton of shadow because you have a ton of shadow, you know what I mean? So if you add, like, for example, in this previous video, I had like a really hot red, and I just went a little wash of that really hot red to go right over it. You know what I mean? Okay, we're down to the last four, so just hang in there. This is the R41. This is a more bullet crease as well. My thought process for this little guy was not only in the crease, but also underneath of the eye, because he's a little bit thicker than the ones that I have, in the sense that he's a little bit rounder, he's a little bit heavier. So I thought that would be a good option for him. We're gonna save the best for last. Let's do that. So this is the M443 brush. This is a very pointed, I believe is gonna be a lip brush, because I have a hard time with I have to line my lips. Like, I don't know how to do my lips otherwise. My lips have a very strange shape. One of them is very uneven. Like, one goes down and the other one goes up. So I have to line my lips even when I use a liquid lipstick, and I would like to be able to line my lips with a liquid lipstick, but I'm horrible at it. So I got him in the hopes that I can use the point to line my lips. So we'll see. That might work out. It might not. Okay, so the last two, these are my last two favorites. So this is the M250-S. I assume that means like short or small. This is such a tiny little brush, and these are highly underrated. Now, I have a ton of these little brushes. However, they all are very like long. I mean, those look very similar, but they're not. They all are very long, like in the sense that like you can really drag whatever color you're putting on. So this one I got because he's nice and short, and I felt like if I wanted to do my glitter you know, liner, like when I do the glitter liner or when I do the really delicate, like, you know, art type makeup looks, that I felt that this one would be the best option for. Okay, last but not least, this I hope, we'll see, is going to be my new cut crease. The other one that I use, I will list it, I'll put it on the screen right here because I just used it, and it's a little bit longer, so it's fine in the sense that I can get a lot of product on, like when I'm carving out with concealer, but I wanted one a little bit shorter but still with that angle, because then I can take it and just carve right out with concealer. So this is the R45. This is the one that I'm the most excited about. I can't wait to use him, but honestly, even if I won't use him for concealer, I totally would use him to do lips or, you know, a liner, really anything. So I'm really, really excited about him. So I really hope that you guys liked this video. I hope you guys like seeing what I got at the Morphe store when I went to California. So I think that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really, really do. I know this was probably like a long chatty video, but I was really excited to get this one up. So I am gonna put in the link below, and I might even put on the screen. Actually, let's do that. Let's put it on the screen right now. So on the screen right now, we're going to put all of my like go-to favorite Morphe brushes. And I'm coming up with this list based on all of my previous videos and based on the ones that I use on clients. So if I use it on a client, I'm gonna recommend it for you. So these are my go-to brushes, my absolute favorites, the ones that I cannot live without, the ones that I will put in my makeup bag even when I'm on the go and I'm trying to get, you know, my makeup done, like when I get to school or whatever. And then obviously I'm gonna list all the products that I have here down below so that you can see those as well. I'm so talkative. So the next video that I'm gonna film is like 100% gonna be my 50 Facts About Me tag slash a Q&A. I kind of want to combine those into one video because there's things that I want to tell you guys about, to fill you in about, like into my life, because I feel like I'm very like surface level on my social media. Like, you don't know much about me, and maybe if you're on my Facebook, you know like some of my political views, but aside from that, there's not much that you know about me. So I want to have like a Q&A, but I also want to have a 50 Facts About Me, so I can tell you guys about all of the things about me that make me, you know, weird and unique, and maybe I can relate to some of you guys, so maybe I won't feel so lonely. So that's probably gonna be next. I hope you guys like this video. So make sure you subscribe down below. Please don't forget to subscribe. We're getting really close to 3,000, and that's like a really big deal for me. As much as I just love to do this. This is so much fun for me. So I really hope you guys enjoy it too. And make sure you hit the little bell button. That little bell button, it's like a notifications. So like when my video goes up, you'll get a notification before anybody else does. So like do that, you know what I mean? So you'll know as soon as I know, basically, before I can Snapchat it even. So let me know what you guys think down below, what your favorite brand is. Maybe I should check out more. Maybe I shouldn't be so like sheltered in my Morphe like castle I live in over here. So thank you guys so much. Thanks for putting up with my talkative self, and I will see you guys soon.